What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're checking out this 2026 Lexus NX. This is a 450h plus. It's the luxury all-wheel drive and this one is the plug-in hybrid version. MSRP is about $65,000, finished in this Grecian watercolor. Really cool looking blue. Door handles have this electronic button on them. We can pop that open and then see what is powering this plug-in hybrid. So comment below, what do you guys think? Is this a good way to go for a $65,000 luxury crossover? Seems to be well priced and very well within the spectrum of what competes with it. So underneath the hood, this has that 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated with a hybrid system. It has 304 net horsepower, and then the engine makes 169 pound-feet of torque. Gonna get about 34 miles per gallon, and you can do about 37 miles of electric only driving. Has a 14.5 gallon fuel tank, and curb weights are around 4,500 pounds. It is all-wheel drive with a CVT for the transmission. And then for the styling, I think it looks really sharp. I love that traditional classic Lexus look with that massive hourglass grille. You got the gunmetal gray color throughout it, Lexus logo, you got the parking sensors, lots of airflow for sure. And then we have a vent over on the far right side with an LED light, and then a really sharp style for those headlights. So really cool looking car, just with sharp angles all throughout the front. Got a sloping line throughout the hood that cuts to the windshield. So really cool looking crossover with a lot of style to it. Got a nice set of 20-inch wheels with a split 5-spoke, gunmetal gray color, a side parking sensor, a little bit of plastic trim for the lower bumper, the front fenders, sharp body line throughout those flares, and then we have some plastic trim down below. Got some sharp lines throughout the side, and then I like the body colored mirror caps, chrome trim on them, LED light, camera down below, and then body color door handles. Got more chrome trim throughout the windows with black, and then we have roof rails and a nice set of roof racks. Panoramic roof up there as well. And then for the side profile, again, it has a nice profile to it. It's not too big, not too small, just a good looking mid-size crossover. You get some really sharp lines throughout the rear, cutting towards this massive taillight, and then an integrated spoiler up above. You're gonna see we have that LED bar, the name Lexus is written out, all of your badging, and then a little bit of plastic black for the diffuser. So cool looking car. Again, I don't really think there's a bad angle. It's just a good looking, nice sized vehicle. For the cargo space, we have a button right here. Can automatically pop open the whole lift gate. And with all the seats folded down, we have a ton of space. So it's a pretty roomy car for cargo. Underneath the floor, we just have a little bit of hidden space. Got a net over here, a plug. So not too bad for overall space. And then going back inside, we can easily lift these up. We have the handles that you can grab from up here, but you can also easily reach them from in back. And then we have a cargo cover as well that you can pop out. Closing that up. The interior has this nice two-tone with the black as well as all this beige leather. Got a soft touch material for the upper door, this nice open pore wood style, the smooth leather, and then the release handles. It's a button, but you can pull them this way if anything fails. Got storage down below, and then the smooth leather with all the perforated leather, and then middle seat, of course, has armrests and cup holders. Got your air vents, a couple plugs, and your storage. And then hopping into the back at 5'11", this is actually pretty roomy and practical. I have plenty of leg room and foot room with a seat at my height. Seat angles are nice, the seat bases fit my legs, and I have plenty of headroom. You also got the panoramic roof making its way all the way in back. Armrests are good, lots of light let in. So really good family car. Car seat should fit pretty good here as well. And then making our way to the front now. Not too bad getting in and out. Door handles have that cool feeling. They can lock and unlock from every handle. And just like in the back, all the same materials. You're gonna get your power controls. We have the same seating. I love the stitching. Looks really good. Then we have a power operated telescoping steering wheel with the black leather. From here, let's fire it up. So being a plug-in hybrid, engine necessarily isn't going to turn on. However, with our drive modes, we have the auto button right here from hybrid and electric. And then we have the EV and hybrid mode you can switch through, as well as holding this down to put into a charge mode. Engine is gonna now kick on. So cool to see you don't have to always plug it in to get the battery charged up. I've already got 2 miles of electric range just by driving it yesterday a little bit with the charge mode on. So on the steering wheel, we have your volume controls on the left side, we have cruise control on the right, and you're gonna see things popping up on the screen when you just place your fingers on this. And maybe you can see it on the heads-up display, but it'll do the same exact thing up there. So it makes it really easy to press different buttons without really having to stare at the steering wheel itself. There's a paddle shifting system on it as well. We got the stalk on the right side for windshield wipers, headlights and turn signals on the left, and then a nice design for the gauge cluster. Got a couple different drive modes to it as well that you can toggle through. And then with some of these screens, we can go into a couple other areas that you can change. We have a little bit of hidden storage down below, fuel cap along with the tailgate release, a little bit of piano black on that left side with a soft touch up on the dashboard. Nice two-tone, and then of course CarPlay all looks the way you would expect. And then under the Lexus screen you can see all of your basic info that we've seen on a lot of the modern Toyota as well as Lexus vehicles. A vehicle icon also will show you some charging info, which is a nice touch to see. Now climate control is always going to be basically sitting down here. We have our temperature with these two manual dials with an integrated screen. We have our heated seats and steering wheel. You can toggle your zones, and then climate button right here gives you some shortcuts. And then we have this little apps icon where you have a lot of like frequently used things, and we can kind of make a couple different adjustments. So it's pretty easy overall. You have a physical button for the front defroster and all the heated glass, volume right in the center. So while there's a lot of touchscreen stuff, it's actually really simple. For reverse, we have a nice size backup camera, all HD graphics. Got your park button, and then there's a shortcut for the parking, and then our view icon as well for a 360 camera. So again, really simple screen. It looks really good. You have some nice leather all around here, the drive modes, and then we have plugs and storage, and then more hidden space and plugs. And we can close that one. You're gonna see the piano black and then this kind of aluminum style color. A couple other icons down below. We have our electronic park and brake and off-road setting and traction control. And then the center can actually be opened up in two different ways. Got a lot of space down there. All this soft touch, we can open up that way as well. And then you're gonna get a nice glove box as well. One last look at the interior. Overall, it's a pretty good looking interior. Doesn't feel like a massive vehicle. It definitely feels a little on the small side, but it's still quite comfortable. Great use of materials. Got the massive sunshade. All of those glass controls are up here. And then we have a nice small sunglass holder. You're gonna see a digital rear view camera. And then we have garage door buttons all underneath. All right, so setting off now in the NX. I'm in electric vehicle mode. As you can tell, it sounds like nothing. It's super quiet in here with the EV system. You can give it a decent amount of throttle before the engine will kick in, but of course it will kick in most of the time depending on the battery charge. So with that, I like how I can hold down the charge icon and charge up that battery a little bit just to not always have to rely on the plug-in. Now overall, ride quality and things like that. Now we have the roof rails up there, which do cause a little bit of wind noise. So obviously if you took the crossbars off, that would be gone. But overall, this is very comfortable and quiet. Aside from the wind I'm hearing up there, there's no actual wind noise. The ride quality is exceptionally smooth. This just glides. It is a very, very comfortable car. These seats are very comfortable. Armrests are great. The car does feel a little narrow, so if you're the, maybe a bigger person or something, this might feel a little cramped. I almost feel like I'm at the taller end of who would feel comfortable in this car. So again, it's a smaller car in general. It's not that big, but I do fit very comfortably in here. Again, it just feels a little on the narrow side. Visibility is all pretty good, easy to see around. Not really any crazy blind spots. Even with that aggressive rear end, it's actually really easy just to see around. Steering wheel feels nice, it's easy to do the shifter, and all your storage areas are readily available. So it's just a really easy interior to get used to. Only complaint, hitting the brakes, if you hit them hard, like right there, the traction control and ABS all went on, it's a little unsettling if you have to hit on the brakes really hard. It just doesn't really seem to feel that stable when you slam on the brakes. So that is my only, I think, complete driving complaint with this car. Is just the braking is a little interesting. We'll do it again coming up to this stop. There's almost like a delay if you have to hit the brakes a little hard. So hitting them normal is fine, but once you kind of hit it a little harder, it gets a little unsettling. So hopefully you don't have to slam the brakes too much in your day-to-day. Obviously it's more for emergency situations, but fundamentally the normal driving characteristics, it's just a really smooth car. The power delivery is really good as well. If we put it into sport mode especially, this thing with the hybrid motors and all that, it really packs a punch. So we'll get up and move on this straightaway. Not bad. Now from a standstill, it actually feels a little bit more zippy than from a roll. But overall, it's got a pretty good power delivery. You definitely hear the 4-cylinder engine and kind of that like CVT sounding transmission. So it's not necessarily a performance car in any way, shape, or form. So just keep that in mind. But at least it has the zip to start moving. So I like how it's definitely adequately powered. You'll get up to speed on the highway, no issues. I was on the highway all day yesterday. Smooth and comfortable. So just, I don't know, it seems like a really well-rounded car with that hybrid tech. This is all easy to use while driving. It's not really distracting. So can't really complain with just how nice it drives.